Hey, it's Valerie here. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for joining me on this video. If you're catching this on Facebook Live or on LinkedIn, where it's going out, or if you're catching me on audio, which is the podcast that we have going as part of the Valerie Ling blogging. Hi, lovely to have you here with me. Quarter 1, Quarter 2, Quarter 3, Quarter 4. This is how one's brain works when you are a business owner and when you're leading a team. And lo and behold, it is autumn. It also means that Quarter 1 is fast finishing and we are ushering in Quarter 2. So I'd like to talk to you about really believing in the fact that actually it's not about doing less. It's about doing more of the right thing. Hi, Anushia. Nice to see you here. It is a myth. And one of the reasons why I started doing the work that I was doing is that there was this blanket assumption that if you're exhausted and if you're really tired, you should just do less. There's nothing wrong with doing less, as in pulling back, having a rest, taking a break, and having a vacation, but it's actually contraindicative to mental health when you pull yourself out of activities that are actually really important and life-giving for you. So if you throw a blanket on the flames of meaning and passion and aspiration and connection and just say do none of that and rest because you're exhausted, you also kill a kind of a lifeline to your mental well-being. In fact, more and more evidence is showing us that it's about knowing what to do more of. You got to do more of the things that provide you with purpose and meaning and connection and joy and pleasure and fun and all of those things. You need to be doing more of those things. In an article that I've been reading this week, there was an actual study that looked at if you were to get people to chunk those meaningful activities. So let's say you're volunteering, right? I'm going to use animals today. It seems like a cute thing to conjure up in your head. And if you were part of I don't know, like a puppy shelter, for example, and you already work like a massive job, Monday to Friday, but on Saturday, as I do know some people who do this, volunteering is really meaningful for you. It's in your top values. And I don't know, saving the puppies from homelessness really gives you like a whole boost. Well, there was a study that actually suggested that even if you're working full-time, hi Lana, thanks for joining me. If you're working full-time and you're doing something like volunteering in a highly important, valued space, in an activity that's really meaningful, and you do a big hit of it, so let's say 3 to 4 hours of that, you actually get better results for your mental health and your productivity and sense of lowered exhaustion than if you did 1 hour a day each across the week. So seeing the puppies Monday, Wednesday, Friday for an hour, as opposed to seeing the puppies on a half a day on Saturday, was far more beneficial. And of course, having the puppies, I'm just using this as a metaphor, in your world is also a very good thing to have. So it's not about just pulling out of activities. It's about knowing which ones to cut down on because they're a drain on you, and increasing the types of things that are important and life-giving to you. For us at the moment, we've just been working really, really hard on what we call Concrete Steps, which is a new project we're running through the practice because mental health services are really being taxed at the moment. We're anticipating that people are going to need a whole lot of help coming into the winter months. And we've been putting a program together called Concrete Steps, which is going to be launched in 2 weeks. We finished our quarterly planning meeting today, and we were all all just filled, I think. We've been working so hard, so hard. It's very hard for a team of psychologists to make mistakes. Psychologists don't like making mistakes, and we've just had to take risk, make mistakes, get feedback from one another, and we've been working so hard for all of us to take a big sigh and say, you know what, we've just done something that we're really proud of. And I actually thought that for the Q2 plans, the psychologists that have been working on this project, I actually thought they would have loved to have a reprieve from it. And so for Q2, I was going to pull one of them out of the project to say, hey, look, you know, you've worked so hard, let's get you into some other meaningful activities. Only to be surprised when the team member said to me, I want to keep being on the project. I'm like, caseload going up, and you want to still be on this project? Because you know why? I suspect it's life-giving for this person. It is meaningful. They're feeling like they're making a dent in this, you know, sort of big, massive waitlist issue that we have for mental health services. And then at the end of the meeting, we talked about axe throwing for fun. That's going to be apparently on the agenda for next quarter, not at each other, but we're going to go and have some fun. These sorts of activities, they take space. They take diary space. People have to make a sacrifice from doing other things in their work to make space for things like meaningful projects, right? In terms of man hours, in terms of going axe throwing. Yes, that's going to take, I don't know if anybody should be in the vicinity of me when I'm axe throwing, but that's going to take time. We're talking about going on a bushwalk together before work. Yeah, we'll be stinky, maybe. We could be sweaty. Yeah, who knows? We could get lost. That could happen too. But we've got to make space for these things. And what we will find is that when we've identified the things that bring us joy, that bring us a sense of purpose, like, you know, we're doing something that's making a difference, as is our upcoming program called Concrete Steps. When you're doing it with people and you're like, yeah, it's okay to trade 90 minutes of writing reports for a 90-minute bushwalk. You'll find you're more efficient, you're more productive, you feel more connected with yourself and with others. So before you throw off everything because you're emotionally exhausted, have a look and see which are the things that, if you got rid of the things that were really draining and brought you no joy, and then had more of the things that brings you joy and pleasure and fun and meaning and purpose, what would that look like? What would your day look like? How would your week be transformed? How would your quarter be transformed? It's worth experimenting. See you later.